8 days of my trip. I woke up in a place near Araku. Then my father drove to a hotel there. I brushed my teeth. Then my father checked some rooms. We went to Chompi village to meet a tribal toy maker. Then we saw a tribal dance. After that, we went to a coffee museum and a tribal museum. Then my father drove us to a tribal's house and pitched our tent and slept. What I read right now is a travelogue written by a 9-year-old named Amulya. Now, Amulya and her twin Ananya are too cool for school. Their parents, Gangadhar and Ramya, unschool, homeschool, and roadschool them. We have the family join us on a video call right now where they're going to tell us all about how cool road schooling is. And especially they'll talk to us about this trip that they took to the northeast in a yellow nano car.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Meet my wife Ramya. So
Okay.
she's a yoga trainer and a budding writer. And meet our twin daughters. We have Amulya, 9.5 years, and Ananya, and I am Gangadhar or Gangu. So this is our family. We live in Hyderabad, weaving a life around travel. I have quit my job 2.5 years ago, and Ramya quit her job last year, and we are trying to live our passions. And the kids have been pulled out of school from last year, and we do a mix of unschooling, homeschooling, and road schooling. So that's about us.
So, in all of that, road schooling sounds like the most novel and the most interesting concept. So, what exactly is road schooling?
So road schooling is nothing but schooling happening while we travel.
How do you do that? So, usually when you plan a trip, you have destination by destination planned, and you go sightseeing and come back to hotel or wherever you're staying. So, how exactly does this happen? When do you conduct these classes?
As per se, there are not many classes or anything that we have. It's not like the kids go on an online session when we are traveling. It is not at all like that. So basically, this is like not curriculum based at all.
Mhm.
So what we do is our planning is almost zero. So we like to do mostly unplanned trips, and many people may be very surprised. And Ramya and I, we really love unplanned trips. That is, we get up on a certain morning, and then we decide what is possible on that day. Knowing the culture of that place, knowing the geography, and talking to locals, we just figure out what is possible on that way. And we don't go to Google and search before we travel, because that kind of I think spoils our surprises that we want along the way. So morning the kids just wake up and say that today I would like to go to a beach. So if there is a beach nearby, we just drive to the beach, and we
Wow.
don't we don't book any of our accommodations. For example, in this 90-day trip, not one night was booked ahead of time.
I'm sure travel will be what you're missing the most during the lockdown.
As a family, we like to spend time together. And due to the lockdown, we've got a lot of time to spend together. Only thing is, we are missing our travel. We like to spend a lot of time when we are traveling on the road. We get to play. I mean, we get to sing songs together. Probably we play a word building game, and sometimes math puzzles. And we just look outside and discuss what are we seeing outside. So these things we are missing. And when we come across a local some place, some eatery or something, we like to stop, explore that place. Or if there is a local fruit which we have not eaten before, we like to try that. And my children like to see the local life, like how the people are there, or what kind of houses they have. So those things, yes, we are definitely missing.
I remember you telling me that you started traveling when the twins were 9.5 months old.
6.5 months.
6.5 months. Oh my God. So how was it to travel with two babies?
Yeah, so the first time we traveled from Bangalore to Kurg, to a place called Aladghar, and it was a homestay. We carried a lot of things. There were 6 months, and we needed sterilizer and water because they were twins. They were alternately fed by bottles. So we needed the sterilizer. We needed their food, and so many things. So I remember we carried all of that, and the first day was a little. No, first day was okay, but the second day it was a little tiring because the power, wherever we were staying, it was a small place, so the power went off in the evening, and for an hour or something there was no power. So the girls cried and cried and cried because it was a little warm, and we didn't know what to do. And but then the second day they started to get used to the place, and then it was nice. We went for there is a place, there was a elephant camp nearby, so we visited there. It was nice. I mean, it was an experience, and that's when we realized that it is fine, and they had a good time.
Why don't you tell me a little more about a Northeast trip that you did last year, and that you traveled in a Nano car, which is kind of surprising because it's usually not a car that many people prefer to travel long distances.
Yeah, sure. So first, let me tell you the thought process behind it briefly, and then I'll tell you about the experience itself. So I'm 45 now, and many people at my age think that you need a 4x4 or a Land Cruiser to actually do a trip like what we did. So it was to ourselves to prove that minimalism and frugalism actually works in our life. Not to anybody else, but to ourselves. So that is why we chose the only car that we have, which is a Tata Nano. And we have done enough number of trips, which is like 2,000 kilometers and 3,000 kilometers. So Ramya and I accidentally went into Northeast about in 2016. And we realized in the very first trip that they are a very advanced culture. Not that other people are less advanced, but when I say advanced, they give importance to the things that really matter to life, like being kind to others, conserving nature, really not just talking about it, but being able to do something about it themselves, having a mix of modernity as well as having respect for their own culture. We went from Hyderabad through Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, West Bengal, Sikkim, Nepal, Bhutan, then Guwahati, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, then again back to Meghalaya, Guwahati, Bihar, where else did we go? Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Chennai, then Mysore, and then back to Hyderabad. Arunachal Pradesh was the highlight of our trip, and people had not seen a Nano.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Tawang.
All right.
In Tawang, they had, they knew there was a car Nano, but they have never seen a Nano drive up to Tawang because it is a high altitude place, and they were so surprised. They took a picture of our Nano and they circulated in their local WhatsApp saying Nano in Tawang. So that was very, very funny. And many of them asked us the question, how did you manage to come all the way in your Nano?
Exactly. That's a question that even I had.
Yes. So
it's a very reliable car. I absolutely had no problem, and I'm not exaggerating just to make the car look good. It is a very reliable car. There was not one day of downtime because of the car.
Wow, that's amazing.
So the kind of terrain that we have traveled is amazing, and the toughest for the car was when we were going uphill in Sela Pass, which is 13,500 feet. And Ramya and I, both of us drove on that road. We felt so happy. And it was snowing, not very heavy snow, but just started snowing. Road was slippery and it was uphill, and we were four of us in that.
And there was no road. It was just a path.
I mean, that was, very interesting. Got to learn and know a lot of things and a lot of interesting stories. And I really hope that, you get to travel soon, and once the lockdown is over, you get to explore more places in the country and the world. Thank you so much for, talking to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity as well.
Bye.